Today we're going to talk about some common mistakes that producers make that you probably should avoid. Let's talk about that. What's up, guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade, and you are watching The Productive Producer. So we're gonna get into some mistakes that some producers make. Mistake number one: only making music when you feel inspired. Inspiration's awesome, right? It's something that we all strive for with music. We want to make music when we're inspired because we feel good, we feel amped, we're like ready to get into it and write some cool stuff. However, it doesn't come very often. For some people, it doesn't come hardly at all. So we have to produce even when we don't feel like doing it. And if you want more information on this, you can watch my last video on how to beat motivation. Because motivation and inspiration, they kind of go together. When you're inspired, you're usually motivated. You should always set aside time to produce and produce with intention. Because usually when you get to that point where you don't feel inspired anymore, if you just work a little bit past that, you'll find the inspiration again. Even if you don't feel inspired, you can always just try learning a new plugin, reorganize your samples, just do something that pushes you forward a little bit. I think a big mistake a lot of producers make, including myself, I used to do this, where I used to only make music when I felt like doing it. And I ended up just not making very much music. I didn't really see growth in myself and in my skill until I really started putting that time in and producing a lot. Mistake number two is obsessing over the numbers. Yes, plays and followers are social proof. Yes, plays and followers will get you gigs. No, you don't need to obsess over these numbers. Social proof is something you achieve over time. If you obsess over the numbers in the beginning, it'll discourage you big time. If you're making music for the numbers, to try to get the numbers, to try to get the gigs and do all that, if in the beginning, if you're really focusing in on that, it's gonna drain you. It's gonna make you feel so discouraged and you won't want to keep making music. It shouldn't be about the numbers. Now, it's easy to say, right? Because you want to get gigs, and in order to get gigs, you have to have numbers. But if you're not focusing in on what the most important thing is, which is the content, which is your music, then you're fighting an uphill battle. Mistake number three is spamming. Now, I know how it feels. You make a new tune and you're psyched about it. You want to show everybody. My friends will know that if they hang around me, I make a new tune, they are gonna hear that tune because I'm gonna show it to them. But that's my friends, right? That's different. If I'm spamming my new tune out to people just randomly without any sort of lead into it, or they don't know who I am, they don't know what I do, they don't even know what kind of music I make, that's gonna make them not want to listen to my music because I'm trying to aggressively get in their face. Imagine if you're walking down the street and somebody walks up to you with a CD, they jump right in your path and they start like say, hey, buy my CD, or even listen to my CD. You don't know what kind of music it is. You don't know this guy. And also, he's trying to invade your life, which is spamming is a way of doing that. And I see so many producers do this. It's such a waste of effort and time, and it makes you look bad. It makes you look desperate for attention. And that is super unattractive, especially to people who are gatekeepers in the industry. Guys who can get you on Spotify playlists, guys who can get you signed to a management company, guys who could get you signed to a booking agency. Though, if they see that you're spamming, they don't want that. They don't want any piece of that because it doesn't look professional. For promotion, send your tracks to blogs who feature the type of music that you make and artists who publicly request for their fans to send them music. And don't send them a bunch, just send them one, maybe your best song, especially if it's unreleased. Number four, comparing yourself to other producers. This is a big one. Incidentally, it's something that we're conditioned to think constantly through advertisement, like look how much better this is than that, right? So we have that sort of same complex comparing our work to another person's work. Notice I'm not saying don't try to learn from other producers. There's so much to be learned from watching or listening to other artists, people who are more experienced than you. What I'm saying is don't compare where you're at to another artist. The reason why this is important is because it clouds your perception of where you're at and how far you've come. You want to look at your progress not compared to others, but compared to yourself. Instead of looking at another artist and saying, oh, how many followers does he have? How many plays does she have? What kind of shows is he playing? What kind of blogs is she featured on? Ask yourself questions like, how have I improved over this past month? How many songs have I made? How much time have I put in? What connections have I made recently? And what did I learn last year? These questions not only allow for crucial self-reflection, but also keep your progress in perspective to allow you to focus on the things that you can control. Number 5, obsessing over plugins and gear. Getting new plugins is great. I love it. I love it when I get a new plugin. There's so many plugins out there with so many possibilities. It's hard not to try to chase after every shiny new plugin that comes out. There's that fear of missing out on that crucial plugin that could take you to the next level. I'm speaking from experience when I say try to avoid this as much as possible. Unless you're in need of a new piece of gear, like a new interface, maybe your interface is broken, or maybe it's really out of date and it doesn't really give you good sound quality and it's time to upgrade, that's a different story. Or if your DAW needs to be updated to the latest version so you can collaborate with other artists, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about seeing an ad for a new distortion unit when you have 7 other distortion units already. But this one's going to be different, right? Well, I can imagine that you said the same exact thing about the other 6 distortion units in your library. It's much better to spend time on learning the gear that you have and learning how to push it to its max potential, because not only will you get the most out of that plugin, but you'll be able to take that knowledge and apply it to other plugins that you get in the future. When it is time to get that next plugin, where you haven't bought a new plugin in about a year and a half and you're like, okay, I think I'm ready to buy this plugin. Then you can apply that knowledge you gained from learning the plugins you already have to this new plugin. Plus, it saves you a lot of money. If you really, really want a plugin, if you see an ad and you're like, I have to have that, pump the brakes and go, all right, I'm gonna save this. I'm going to put it aside, put it on maybe you could make a Google Doc of like all these links of different plugins that you want. Like, oh, I need to buy this. Oh, and I need to buy this. I need to buy this, and save it. Save it until the end of the year during Black Friday when all plugins go on sale. And then you'll be able to decide. Most of the times as I've done this over the years, most of the time my list fills up. And then when it's time for me to buy a new plugin, I look at that list and go like, oh, I don't even really want that anymore. Oh, like I found out a better way to do that. You know, this plugin said that it could do something this way. Well, I found out a better way to do it another way, you know? And then if I still want that plugin, it's on sale and I can buy it for half price or hopefully less. There's a lot of great plugin deals out there. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. You made it to the end of this video. I got something free for you. The finishing music checklist, and that's down there in the description. You can go and download that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next Friday. Peace.